Hi guys, this is an experiment you can try with just an Alka-Seltzer, a foam canister, and a little bit of water. Hope you can enjoy it.
All right. Okay, so you see what happened there? Right when I put in the Alka-Seltzer and the water, the pressure was building up inside the film canister. That only way it could go, the only way it can release its energy is from under, and that's why it goes up. So it's important to talk about this, just because rocket science and rocket ships involve the three laws of motion. And so I'm going to be talking about the three laws of motion, which is important for the rocket ships. So the first law of motion is pretty much, if an object is at rest, it will stay at rest until something pushes it. And once something pushes it or energy makes it move, the object will stay in motion until something stops it from being in motion. So as you can see, if I were to just to leave this film canister right here, nothing is gonna happen, right? But obviously, since I put water in the Alka-Seltzer, it that water in the Alka-Seltzer building up, the pressure is gonna make it move and launch itself up in the air. But then at one point, the film canister stopped its motion just because of gravity, and even maybe a little bit of the air was stopping it from continuing on moving upwards. And so that's one of the first laws. The second law of motion is an object needs a certain amount of energy and force for it to move. Okay, so for a little object like the film canister, it really needs a small amount of energy for it to move up to the sky. Compared to a rocket ship needs a lot of energy, a lot of fuel for it to be pushed upwards into space for it to carry on with its mission. And so that's the second law of motion. And then the third law of motion is, with every reaction or with every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. So in this experiment, this third law of motion is very prominent with rocket science, just because like right when I flipped this film canister over upside down, the energy pushed downwards. Bam, it pushed downwards like that. So since it's an opposite reaction, the only direction it's gonna go is upwards. So you can see it's gonna go downwards and upwards, and that way the rocket ship is able to launch itself into the air. And so those are the three very important laws of motion. They're called Newton's law of motion, based off of the guy Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton, yeah, he was a scientist back in the day in England, and he created all of this important stuff that we still use to this day, and scientists use to this day in NASA in Cape Canaveral.